Not satisfied to ruin the film industry with their innate whining, the Screen Actors Guild, better known as SAG, has since done a strike against the video game industry, which has only led to even more issues and more problems, and no one gives a crap. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I produce a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. I made no secrets about my feelings when SAG went on strike a little over a year ago, I guess. Whenever you would see me on X, I was constantly replying to articles about the strikers with the actors who were throwing their little hissy fits on the picket line with their net worth or how much they made in their previous job. And I would always get these little replies. Oh, you don't understand. It's about the little guy. I would just like to point out something. SAG is a mafia front, a commie infiltrator group. I'm sorry, a union. And during an industry downturn, what did they tell their actors to do? Not to buck up and do better, not to try to get better jobs, not to entertain the masses, the bare minimum of what they're supposed to do. They told them to just not go to work. And you know what? In any other industry, that makes no sense. You don't go on strike during an industry downturn. You go on strike when it's doing well, so you can convince the studios just how important you are. But when it's already in a downturn, everyone looks and points and laughs, which is what happened with the last SAG strike and is what is happening now with this video game strike that SAG is pulling off. So this is according to Deadline. Now, to be fair, Deadline is a rag that is always siding with Hollywood. They want that insider access for interviews and whatnot. They are part of the mainstream media, the corporate press, whatever you want to call them, and they do their dirty work. But I did find what they had to say about this video game SAG strike very interesting. It's been many months since SAG, AFTRA, and the major video game companies sat down for an in-person bargaining talks on a new contract. That's about to change. The Actors Union, which launched a strike in late July against several companies, said today it will resume negotiations for its interactive media agreement on Wednesday, October 23rd. Bargaining has continued off and on, and the sides have been operating without a contract since November 2022. AI has been the sticking point on for months on the contract, which covers voice and performance capture talent on video games. The gamer companies being struck are Activision Productions, Blindlight, Disney Character Voices, Electronic Arts Productions, Formos Interactive, Insomniac Games, Llama Productions, Take-Two Productions, and WB Games. When the strike was called, negotiations on the interactive media agreement had been ongoing for more than 18 months, though these talks aren't as consistent as those between Hollywood unions, the AMPTP, where the parties set aside several consecutive weeks to bargain. We are not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to use AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough when these companies get serious about offering an agreement our members can live and work with. We will be here ready to negotiate, SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher said when the strike was called. Neither side had further comment on the resumption of talks. I would just like to point out something. Photographed in this headline is Sean Astin, Jolie Fisher, and Frances Fisher. Sean Astin is worth $10 million. Jolie Fisher is worth $8 million, and Frances Fisher is worth $4 million. Not to mention Fran Drescher, who has been disastrous as the president of SAG, by the way, is worth $25 million. So no, I don't want to hear from a bunch of millionaires how they want more millions. Oh, Jacob, it's just for the little guy. Where are the little guys then? Oh, Jacob, the name recognition of Sean Astin gets in front of the little guys. I don't ever see any of the little guys or little gals being interviewed through all this. I see a bunch of stuck-up, snobby, wealthy celebrities who have butlers, who have multi-million-dollar mansions. They're the ones doing this strike. Can you imagine the selfishness of this? A bunch of millionaires are going out there and saying, we want higher pay. We want guarantees. Shut up. I don't want to hear lectures about morals, about wages, about AI assurances from a bunch of stuck up millionaires. And I would just like to say, as an aside, Sean Astin has been a major disappointment. He is supposed to be a moral center in Hollywood. He professes to be a Christian and sort of this, hey, I'm the voice of reason celebrity. That's kind of how he tries to portray himself whenever he does interviews or whatnot. And of course, I am not downplaying his acting skills. The man is a brilliant actor. I think he was fantastic in Goonies. I think he was great in Lord of the Rings. I think he was a good voice actor in Justice League War. I thought his stint in Stranger Things was fantastic. I think they shouldn't have killed off his character. However, I am not going to be lectured by him about fair wages, especially after he goes on that Soy Boys for Democrats or whatever it was called, where he was like, real man vote this certain way. Spare me, Mr. Millionaire. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be bothered by it. Quite frankly, shut up and act. This is another point in video games. Video games are heading for a crash because of really poor decisions by companies like all the ones listed in the article, as well as companies like Ubisoft, which spits in the face of their fans. Gamers aren't like general audiences for, say, films or books or whatever. And by the way, I'm just speaking from my own interactions with gamers. I'm a casual gamer. Gamers, they just want to play games. They just want to have fun. I know there was this stupid meme going around that was actually fake news. It wasn't a real study where women were saying gaming is the most unattractive male hobby. Who cares? Men's hobbies aren't about making women attracted to them. They're about us, relaxing. So shut up with that. Anyway, I know that's two asides. Point is, gamers aren't going to put up with this. And I'm not going to take lectures from SAG, which, by the way, the people behind South Park, they did a movie a while ago, Team America, World Police, where they were called the Film Actors Guild. That makes more sense to me if you think about the acronym. SAG regularly commits wage discrimination against their members. Did you know that if their members don't make a certain amount of money, they're not eligible for the health insurance? Then the members, they want to sing the praises of SAG and then complain about wages. SAG is literally committing wage discrimination against you while taking your wages from your paycheck. Wake up. These unions, their time is up. And we saw this with the threat of the longshoremen, right? How they were threatening to go on strike, and their leader, who is an alleged mafia person, by the way, went on TV and says, I'm going to make Americans hurt. Everyone thinks he's a tough guy because he's got a Jersey accent. I guarantee you that guy hasn't been in a fight in his life. Anyway, they immediately caved because the governor of Florida, he came out and said, hey, we're not going to put up with this. I'm going to activate the National Guard to run the ports if these people go on strike. Movie companies need to do this. Gaming companies to do this. You're going to go on strike? Fine. We're going to get non-union workers to voice in our video games or our films. They need to stop playing around with these spoiled, selfish actors, celebrities, whatever you want to call them. The time of the movie star is over. It's eclipsed. I can only count on one hand how many actors there are where people rush to the theaters because they're in a film. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole video game strike is just as stupid, if not more so, than the film strike. These actors, these celebrities should be embarrassed by what they are doing. If I was them, I would be resigning from the union immediately. Stop letting an organization steal your hard-earned wages and get to work. That's what you need to do. You need to start negotiating for yourself. If you all do it, the movie studios can't take advantage of you. If you all just say, hey, listen, we're dropping out. We're not going to work with a union that's stealing our wages and committing wage discrimination for health insurance. I guarantee you that would cause the studios and the video game companies to listen. Because right now, the way you're striking, if I was a movie studio or a video game developer, I would be downloading Grok, ChatGPT, and Gemini so fast onto my laptop because of how you are behaving. Yeah, I said it and I'm not taking it back. I'm not going to listen to a bunch of spoiled millionaires tell me that they are oppressed by some system. Spare me. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment to what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I produce a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you don't want to support me on big tech, click on the link to my locals community. You can sign up for a subscription, or you can send me tips based on the articles I post there. I do exclusives there as well, so check them out. You can also pick up one of my novels. You can get Cacophony and the Seven Royals series on Barnes & Noble, but also on Amazon. You can also get my latest one, Blessed Child, on Amazon. Pick one or all of them up and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.